Hello friends, it's Sienna and we are going to be doing a health updates and kind of like a go over all the progress we made in 2025. So 2025, I received a lot of diagnoses that really help explain my symptoms and things that are going on with me. A lot of them were things that I suspected for quite some time. However, getting proper diagnoses takes time and the health system is very screwed. And there's a lot of, unfortunately, health professionals that just shrug it off and don't take you seriously, which I have had a lot of those. But I now have a new primary care doctor who is absolutely lovely, and literally within the first appointment, she got me on track and referred to all the things that I had been trying to get referred to at that point for years. So all it took was one person, and she literally looked at me and brought things up to me before I even said it. And that was just absolutely incredible. So as we know, if you've seen some of my past videos, or if you've seen that I talk about my health on social media, on like Twitter, X, whatever, I post about my health very openly because, well, one, I think if I kept it all to myself, I'd probably lose my mind a little bit, but also because I want other people who are going through the things that I'm going through to know that they are not alone. Unfortunately, sometimes our bodies just genetically fail us, or it just takes as simple as getting sick one time for everything to spiral out of control. So, you know, a lot of my issues have been linked to mostly genetic issues. There's others that might not necessarily have, we don't really know the known cause necessarily. But to recap, we already knew that I had SVT. It's a heart condition. It's tachycardia, where my heart goes way too fast sometimes. I take medication for this, and currently I've been very stable on my medication, and I still have my cardiac loop recorder. They said they're gonna leave it in me until it runs out of batteries, essentially. So they keep monitoring my heart rate. They check it often, and their computers will beep during the day if there's something out of whack, and they'll note it, and they'll call me if there's any issues. But my current medication doses have kept me very stable, which has been a huge help, because having one thing under control is huge when there's so many things out of control. I have 2 leaky valves and a heart murmur as well. Those are not really a big concern in the grand scheme of things at this time. I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's this year. That is a thyroid autoimmune disorder. Currently, I just have a very increased amount of antibodies in my thyroid, and having like some of the symptoms related to that. There isn't enough damage to cause the hormone levels of things to be out of whack at this time. However, it has fluctuated a few times where it has gone out of whack. They retested my blood work a week later. It was back to normal. So it's trying to correct itself right now. However, I am referred to an endocrinologist, and I think that's related to the thyroid stuff. Because I originally found this out from the rheumatologist when she did an entire autoimmune panel for me when I was asking her about Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which brings me to, I finally got diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I have the hypermobility type. It went through the geneticist. That was really kind of a little bit stressful, just because there is not a lot of options in my state for genetic testing. And luckily they had programs to help with funding for it, because my insurance completely denied it and said it wasn't necessary to know what's causing a huge part of my issues. So luckily they had funding that helped cover based off of financial need, and I was able to get those tests completely covered, thank God. But I do have one slight variant, but they said that she doesn't think that, like, it's not enough to be one of the different types of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. She's like, you have a very small mutation. If it was this type of mutation, like 2 of the genes rather than just 1 of the letters in the gene, then she would think that it would be the vascular type of EDS. But because of, based off of my other symptoms and through the different testing we did where I showed my hypermobility and all my joints and stuff do that. My connective tissues just go. So because of that, we were diagnosed with the hypermobility type, which I'm very grateful to have that diagnosis, because I was first ever made aware of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome by my pediatrician when I was 7 or 8, maybe 9. And because I was like, look at my cool party tricks, I can bend my fingers in a bunch of weird ways. And he's like, there's no such thing as double jointed. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, that's, I'm double jointed. And he's like, no. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, you're hypermobile. There is just a hypermobility syndrome as well, but he was like, I think you have Ehlers-Danlos. He's like, look it up later when you have more issues. And I was like, I was a kid, so I didn't track that, but my mom had a sticky note with it written on it, and I just remember him handing her a sticky note. With Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, it's very common for it to cause dysautonomia and issues with that, such as POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Working with my cardiologist and my cardiac electrophysiologist, they don't want to go through the testing because they think that because currently I am very stable on my meds, they want to keep my heart rate at that stable level, and they think that the testing for it, such as the tilt table test, will cause way too much stress on my body. While it may help diagnose it fully, they think it's very likely I have it, but they don't want to go through that unless I was passing out, which only a small percentage of people who have POTS actually pass out, but they don't want to cause the extra stress on my body when I am currently stable heart-wise, which, to be fair, you know, that's valid. I don't like the level of stress that causes my body causes itself anyway. That's all the physical health stuff that I have. I think that I wrote it down on my little notebook. I just feel like I'm forgetting something because there's just so much freaking going on. I think there was also something I need to bring up to the doctor coming up soon. My dad just realized he had a gene for something, which was like the alpha-1 thing, and it has to do with like your lungs and stuff. And I took the genetic test that they wanted for that, and I do have one of the genes. I just haven't gotten those results read by the actual like doctor yet, and I don't know to what extent that means, because they said 1 variant detected. Well, 1 variant could mean one thing and 2 variants could mean a completely other thing. So we'll find out more information, and when I do have that information, I'll try to update you guys via social media or something. But you know, I think the biggest symptom physically that is the most annoying out of all of the things would be fatigue. Fatigue can just flare up out of nowhere, and it's very frustrating to not be able to function or move your body when it's so heavy and then you're just suddenly so exhausted. That sucks. Now, so that was the physical stuff. I also got to see a mental health professional again. I haven't seen one in years, and we did another evaluation and got a lot of updated information, and I was finally brave enough to ask about autism and ADHD, which I have both. Hi. I kind of already suspected that for a very long time. I'd say probably ever since I first ever learned what it was, but yeah. All my friends, when I told them, they said, well, duh, and I was like, wow, I learned something new, and y'all already knew that. But that's cool, that's fine. But we're not doing ADHD meds right now because we want to make sure that everything is stable with the heart stuff, and a lot of those can be, my heart goes too fast, it can cause it go fast, and that's no good. But my psychiatrist said that if I ever want to try them out, which I may consider in the future because my focus levels have been dog poo-poo, she said she'll work closely with my cardiologist to make sure that they make the right choice, and I think that's really, really nice that my team is working together. I also have just general anxiety. We knew that already. Before I was diagnosed with like severe depression, she said, based off of what I've told her and everything, she would say it's more of a severe situational depression, and due to circumstances outside my control, they can trigger severe depressive episodes, and that's what's going on with that. That makes sense, honestly. Because I feel extremely. She also said that I don't have, she wouldn't diagnose me with OCD, but she would say I have OCD tendencies. But luckily they are not impacting my life detrimentally. I think that was the word she used. Something like that. But that's what she said. So that is my current mental health diagnoses list. Now, some of my goals for my health and whatnot is I want to continue, obviously, to see my doctors and get better to the best of my ability. My chronic illnesses will never go away, but I can do what I can within my power to be as healthy as I can, and that's what I'm going to work on. I want to continue to understand myself and why I feel the way I do. So these diagnoses really help me understand what's going on better, because not knowing why I feel the way that I feel can be very depressing and not great on the mental health. Another goal of mine is to lose weight. This has been a goal of mine for a while. 2024, I gained more weight than I'm happy with. I now know that could be due to the Hashimoto's, but also because I couldn't move out of bed because my health was so bad at the time. And that was when I was taking a different heart medication, and it flipped from helping me to making my symptoms 10 times worse. So that was fun. And by fun, I say that very sarcastically. But my goal weight is 135 pounds. I'm currently at 165. I think that's very doable, despite, Hashimoto's really makes it hard, but I'm trying really hard. I'm working out and doing what I can. I've been going to physical therapy recently, and I actually just graduated from the program, and they want me to continue at home, though if I need to, I can go back and see them anytime. I just need another referral from my doctor, but my doctor said whenever I need to go to just let her know. Due to the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, I'm really working on strengthening my body to stabilize my joints. Because they overextend, having somewhat stabilized joints can help me not pull my muscles so easily and not tear things and have all these things get worse. So hopefully through working out, and I've been working on eating super good, working on moderation, stop eating when I'm full, and things like that, and stop a million snacking just because I'm bored and want a positive reinforcement treat. We're working on it, but I think I can do it, and I'm gonna see how close I can get to that goal by my birthday, May 1st. So fingers crossed. I feel like I could do it potentially, but I want to do it all right so I don't just gain it all back, you know? So that's where I am. That's my physical mental health update. We learned a lot and got affirmed of a lot of things in 2025, and I'm hoping 2026 is a year of like building good habits, and hopefully with things I'm hoping to like be able to bounce back from flare-ups a little bit quicker than before. I hope. I really have no say in that, but I'm out here hoping. If you guys have any questions about my diagnoses or what any of it means, I will do the best as a non-medical professional to answer them. Comment down below, ask me anything. I'm super open about anything. Feel free to chat about it. I will answer whatever I can, and yeah, maybe I'll do another video if I get enough questions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I post new videos every Monday, what channel am I on? And I post new videos every Thursday and Sunday, and I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.